Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our English podcast. I'm me, your teacher and your calm guide through this big, strange world of English.
And I'm Daniel. I'm not calm. I'm trying my best, but English still scares me a little.
You say that every week.
Because it's true every week.
Today we're going to talk about something very warm, very human, and sometimes very funny. Childhood memories.
Childhood memories. You mean those things we forget until someone brings them up and then suddenly we remember the time we fell into a pond?
Exactly. Those memories. The little stories from when we were small. They are perfect for practicing past tense and simple storytelling.
Good, because my childhood stories are simple. Mostly running, falling, crying, and eating snacks.
That is already a great foundation for storytelling. So before we dive into examples, let's warm up. Daniel, when you hear childhood, what comes to mind?
Sunlight, grass, my old school, the smell of chalk, the sound of bikes, and the feeling that homework was the worst thing in the world.
Nothing has changed for you, I see.
Hey, homework still scares adults too. But yes, childhood memories are usually soft, bright, or funny, sometimes embarrassing.
True. And that's why they make great conversation topics. When you talk about childhood memories in English, you usually use simple past tense. You use words like when I was a kid, when I was little, I remember, I used to, or one time.
One time is the universal start of chaos.
Yes. When someone says one time, you know something strange is coming.
Like, one time I tried to ride my dog like a horse.
Please tell me you did not do that.
I was 5. My brain was small.
That is a very common explanation for childhood memories.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into our main topic, how to talk about childhood memories. We'll do it slowly, clearly, and with simple language so learners can follow along.
Good. Slow is my favorite speed.
First, we describe the setting. Where did the memory happen? For example, when I was a child, I lived in a small town.
Or, when I was little, my family lived near a forest.
Yes, very good. Then you talk about what you used to do. For example, I used to play outside every day. Or, I used to climb trees.
I used to eat sand.
Please pick something normal.
But I'm trying to be honest.
Let's stay with trees.
Fine. I used to climb trees, not I used to eat sand.
Thank you. Now, after you set the scene, you tell the story. Keep it simple. Something like, one day I, and then the action.
One day, I tried to jump from one tree to another, and I fell.
Yes, that is a classic childhood memory. Many people have a story like that.
Maybe not the dog riding one.
Hopefully not. Let's practice with a longer example. I'll tell a memory, and then you try one. Here is mine. When I was a kid, I lived near a big park. I used to go there every morning with my grandmother. We would walk slowly, look at the flowers, and talk about everything. One time, I saw a squirrel for the first time, and I thought it was a tiny monster. I screamed so loudly that an old man dropped his newspaper.
That is a good story. Poor old man.
Yes, he was very surprised.
Okay, here is my childhood memory. When I was a child, I used to visit my cousin every weekend. He had a small garden behind his house. We loved to explore it. One day, we found a big hole in the ground. We thought it was treasure. We started digging and digging. After 20 minutes, we found nothing. Then my uncle came and said, "That's where the dog likes to dig." We were very disappointed.
That is a perfect childhood story. A little adventure, some hope, and a funny ending.
The treasure was dog dreams.
Now, here's another important thing. When talking about childhood memories, you can use adjectives to make the story more colorful. Words like funny,
scary, sweet, embarrassing, silly, strange, or special.
My childhood was made of silly moments. Very silly moments.
I can tell.
Thank you. I'm proud of it.
Good. You can also describe emotions, like I felt scared, I felt happy, I felt excited, I felt confused, I felt proud.
That's useful. English learners sometimes forget to say how they felt.
Yes, feelings make the story more interesting. Imagine this. I used to ride my bike to school. One day, the chain broke. I fell. I stood up. I was fine. I walked home.
That story is boring.
But if you add emotions, I used to ride my bike to school. One day, the chain broke and I fell. I felt shocked and embarrassed. A group of students saw me and laughed. I wanted to disappear. But I stood up, brushed off the dust, and walked home.
Much better. Now we can feel the pain.
Exactly. Stories become real with emotions.
Do you think everyone likes talking about childhood memories?
Usually, yes, because it's personal but not too serious. It's a safe topic. Also, people enjoy remembering times when life was simpler.
True. When we were small, our biggest problem was losing a toy.
Or breaking a toy.
Or fighting for a toy.
Toys were very important.
Still are.
Another tip for learners, you can connect memories with time words, like then, after that, later, finally, or in the end. They help the story flow.
Yes, without them, my stories sound like a list of accidents.
Most of your stories are accidents.
I know. I was a strong child. I survived many things.
That is good for vocabulary practice, I guess.
Let's practice again. Tell a memory using time words.
Okay, let me try. When I was a kid, my family had a small farm. I used to help my dad feed the chickens. One morning, I opened the door and the chickens ran out. First, I panicked. Then I ran after them. After that, my dad ran after me. In the end, we caught all the chickens, but I was very tired.
Very nice. Clear and simple.
And traumatic.
Good practice, though. Here is another from me. When I was little, I visited a beach with my parents. The water was cold, but I wanted to swim. I walked into the ocean slowly. Then I saw a jellyfish. After that, I ran back to the shore and refused to touch the water again.
I would also run. Jellyfish are spooky.
Yes, I was not brave back then.
I was still not brave now.
Humor is also great for childhood memories. You can add something funny at the end.
Like, when I was a kid, I thought the moon followed me everywhere. I felt very special. Then my brother told me it follows everyone. I was very disappointed.
Exactly. A simple, funny twist.
Childhood is full of those moments when the world makes no sense, but we believe it anyway.
That's why these stories are great for conversation. They help people connect.
Let's highlight a few useful phrases for learners. When I was a child, when I was little, I used to, I remember, one time, there was a time when, I felt, then, after that, finally.
Very simple. Very useful.
Yes, and you can mix them to make longer stories.
Stories like, when I was little, I used to visit my grandma. I remember she made amazing cookies. One time, I tried to make them by myself. Then, I burned the tray. After that, the house smelled like smoke for 2 days.
See? Perfect example.
And true story.
I'm not surprised.
So, dear listeners, childhood memories help you practice past tense, feelings, descriptions, and storytelling. They are friendly to talk about in any conversation.
And they remind you of good times, bad haircuts, silly ideas, and all the strange things you believed when you were 5.
True. And you can practice with friends. Ask questions like, what did you like to do when you were a child?
What games did you play? Do you have a funny memory from school? What scared you when you were little?
Or did you ever fall into a pond? I think many people did.
You and water have a history.
Water hates me.
Anyway, before we end, let's give a short recap. Today, we learned how to talk about childhood memories. Use simple past tense. Start with phrases like, when I was a child. Use a used to talk about habits. Use adjectives and feelings to make the story interesting. Use time words like then, after that, finally. Keep the story simple and clear.
And don't forget the fun parts. Childhood memories are often silly, sweet, or embarrassing. That makes them great for practice.
Thank you for listening. We hope this helped you learn how to talk about childhood memories in English.
And we hope your childhood was safer than mine.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.